are dealing with the poorest of the poor, those who are below any documented poverty line, those who are not earning the $1.25 a day, which has been classified by the World Bank as below that is the bottom billion, but those who are earning 0.25. And the difference between those who earn 0.25 and 1.25 is the difference of life and death. People here are living on shifting sandbanks practically. And worse, because islands are moving from under their feet, you know. And in this state, people have to shift more than 12 to 13 times on average in their lifetime. We have found people shifting 32 times in their lifetime. And every time they shift is directly related to poverty. Imagine your home being burnt 12 times in your lifetime. Imagine your emotional state, your mental state, and your financial state. How can these people ever be rich? But yet you will have land to move to. These people do not even have land to move to. They cannot move into the mainland because Bangladesh is a country of 160 million people, which is 1/4 the size of France. There is no land to move to. Nobody will allow them to stay on the land. And you have more than 4 to 5 million people living on these islands. Where are they going to go? Because of the nature of the land, it was impossible to have any fixed structures. We could not make things with bricks and stones. So we had to bring in boats to carry the healthcare to the people. We came in wanting to do primary healthcare, and today we go up to secondary healthcare. We perform operations, eye operation, cataract operation on adult and children, orthopedic surgery, reconstructive surgery. People who have not walked can walk again. People who did not have sight, gain back their sight. For them, these are miracles. And when we perform these miracles, we build up a confidence we build up a platform of confidence and trust on which we can work. So on this platform of trust and confidence of the people, we build up our services. We start with giving healthcare. When there's a natural disaster, we move in fast, efficiently. We move on to giving them hope for the future through education, the children through primary education, adolescents, adult education. We then also try to take care of their economic conditions, and we give them economic solutions and also legal aid to back that solution. We try to give them a holistic, integrated development, because you see, it's like a sieve. When you pour sand in a sieve, it doesn't stay. So when you come in with suppositions and solutions, and you have not fixed and you have not made the ground, it does not work. You have to come in with a total solution for those people who don't have anything. And this is what we try to do. We try to give them a whole solution, an integrated development model where there is health, there is, in case of an emergency, we deal with them. There is hope for the future through education. There is a building up of their dignity and self-respect through giving them social education. You see, we do not come up with any preconceived notions and solutions. For example, we have one primary school, and in this school, we can only have 30 children per class, but there are hundreds of children who need to be addressed. And these children would look through the window trying to learn and absorb from the classes. So what I started was a child-to-child education, because all these 30 children were potential teachers. So we started this child-to-child education. Each child would go, get a friend, we call it the teacher friend, and he would teach this friend every evening whatever they have learned in school. Then we built up a syllabus around it. We formalized it. We find islands now where they can't even find another friend because everybody is more or less literate. There are no turnkey solutions. Each solution has to be customized to the needs of the nomad islands. We built partnership with universities because our needs are so specific and our solutions are innovative that we need them to complement our work with data, statistics. Every morning this woman, this housewife, is getting up with a terrible headache. She cannot perform, she cannot open her eyes. Do you give her an aspirin or you teach her empowerment? What do? If you teach her empowerment, you have your statistics that you have her on the list of teaching her empowerment, but it has not at all been effective because she needed the aspirin first. So we have to find a solution step by step, especially for people who don't have anything. In different communities, the needs are different. In a refugee society, it is not food because they're getting enough food, it's something else. In a place where there are no schools, it might be schools. So you have to find what is their primary need, what is their secondary need. Identify that and then work in a step-by-step way. Often organizations come in with a preconceived solution. So in a place where, and they say that it does not work, the project has failed. You know, in a place where people cannot get food for the next meal, you come in with a water and sanitation project. How can it be sustainable after you leave? You know, or who cares about empowerment when a person is suffering, when you don't have food? So it has to come in. You have to understand what is the primary need, what is the secondary need, and just because a donor gives funds for a secondary need, you cannot address that need without doing the primary need because the project is going to fail after you leave. An NGO does not need to be viable. We have to think about the sustainability not of the organization but of the beneficiaries. So that is our primary responsibility. You see, we must not mix up our targets. You know, we should have one vision for one project or one program and not try to integrate everything that everyone tells us to, what is the modern catchword or catchphrase. Healthcare is, you're taking healthcare in an area like this which is so difficult. It's difficult enough to sustain this healthcare at a good dependable level. So healthcare is not sustainable in Europe. Healthcare is not sustainable in any of the developing countries. There is this whole hospital ship, and we are doing cataract surgery, orthopedic surgery for a child who has not walked for 5 years, 6 years of his life. How can a man who earns 100 taka a day for a family of 5 ever pay anything towards making that sustainable? Donors are paying me that money to have that operation done. My responsibility is to have that operation in the best way possible, make sure the child can walk, the girl can see. This is my responsibility.